Good afternoon, Devo. I usually do these in the AM, but today I have gone about my day. I've gone and expressed myself. Today is the express sphere. This is day 6 in this 7-day cycle. For me, that's been imagination. And so I'll get into a little bit more of that perhaps as I draw a card. But I guess mostly what I want to share about the express sphere is that you're sharing your awareness. And so instead of this morning jumping on and doing this, Bodhi and I just kind of got to our day. We had breakfast, we had coffee, and we were really just entrenched with the joy of having a day together that he didn't have to go to work. And so our conversations, he and I had really circled the idea of imagination, and that's why it was my express sphere today. So I've really just been playful and creative and decorating and cleaning and just kind of fluttering about the house today. So the card that I'm going to be drawing is not necessarily for my day, it's for my dreams tonight. So sometimes I don't come up with my sphere in the morning. It just comes about as I go about my day. Sometimes it might be at the nighttime that I've actually decided on, or I've had the time to fill in what my sphere is. So I don't necessarily always start my day with knowing what my message is for the day. And so, yeah, what I'm seeing right now kind of caught my attention is secure. There's some sort of like, if we're talking about the idea of magic, that feeling secure helps you secure the things in your outer reality, the appearances, that currency, right? So I hear that I'm also a little bit distracted by the cars driving by. It is 4th of July, so there's a lot more activity about town. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say about that. I guess I'm thinking that I'm distracted and it makes me feel self-conscious. So perhaps that goes along with the idea of secure. Like, feeling secure helps you do your magic. And when you're feeling a little shaky and a little bit wobbly, it might come off like whatever you're projecting, whatever you're trying to act out or create is just slightly off center. But perhaps that's not a bad thing. As we know, we've been talking lately about removing judgment and being unbothered by something and really just taking it as information to know what the next thing is to do. So as I've been expressing in my imagination today, I'm going to have this card as what is going to be like the next thing to do? What should I imagine tonight? Like, what could I lucid dream about tonight, this evening, as I close out this day and I step into day 7 tomorrow morning and close out this lunar cycle, this 7-day phase, this moon phase. So what is some inspiration that I can imagine that will assist me in my magic and the work that I do and just enjoying life, really? That's really what it comes down to. So inspiration, the tree. Wow, I feel like I get this card a lot, and for other people. This card is a very common tree, or a common card. And look at how abundant that tree is. That's incredibly abundant. So if I'm going to be doing magic, I definitely want it to be full and in full bloom like that. So let's see what the card has to say about the tree. So I even like thinking about like lucid dreams, like this looks like a giant field or a giant brain. So like it feels like expansion. I guess that's kind of the concept that I'm feeling into. A single act of kindness throws out roots in all directions, and the roots spring up and make new trees. Actually, I feel like maybe I got this card for you before. The lush green tree exudes health and vitality. This tree of life card reminds us that the closer our connections to nature, the more we nurture our physical and spiritual well-being. With its roots deep in earth and its branches reaching out for the heavens, this card illustrates the vital connections between the elements and all living things. The tree symbolizes humanity's long-term responsibility for stewardship of the environment. So I could really like imagine that I'm a steward of my environment, whether it's my indoor of my home, or it's the outside of my yard, or it's the planet that I want to take care of. This is really what I would say that I'm expressing, and I can imagine actually participating in that. The tree teaches us that actions we take today and the choices we make have long-term ramifications. And then that sounds like it goes along with the kind of like the inner dialogue that we've been exploring, where instead of looking at like the inner critic or the inner child, looking at it, is it my past self or my now self or my future self? And so it seems like the future self is asking to pay attention to the long-term ramifications of my imagination, of like the direction and the choices that I make. When we nurture ourselves and deepen our relationships, the benefits will be widespread. And that's that, like deep roots. The tree card also refers to longevity, stability, and life cycles. Beautiful. So that feels like magic, that like we were talking about earlier in the week, where the tree grows up and it grows in a specific pattern, but it's always unique. And then the leaves and the branches fall off, they decay, they go into nutrients, and then that cycle happens again and again, right? And it's a very complicated cycle, but in a sense, it seems very easy. It just happens naturally. And so to work with magic, that's what you're wanting to kind of tap into, is that natural flow of the life cycle, right? Of cultivating, of waxing something and then waning something. So now we're waning this 7-day cycle. And I hope that you've had a beautiful day of expressing yourself and enjoying life, and that will help you cultivate a lesson from this 7-day mind map. So I hope you have sweet dreams tonight, and I will see you tomorrow.